Hi there, I'm Elaine, the Heart Healthy Cooking Lady. I'm going to show you how to make a healthy chicken curry. Many times Indian food is loaded with sodium. My husband's cousin is married to an Indian, has been for years and years, and she said that when her mother-in-law cooks that she measures salt by the handful. So sometimes it can be kind of a sodium-laden meal, but I'm going to show you how to do it, and very tasty with no fat and no sodium, or very, very little. So I got this recipe actually years ago. I've modified it from Sunset's Easy Basics for International Cooking. Our daughter gave it to me for Christmas probably 20 years ago, and I've adapted that recipe. What is wonderful about the recipe is you throw a lot of stuff in the blender, blend it all up, and then you make a paste of it. So what you are going to put in the blender is 2 cups of onions chopped, a tablespoon of minced garlic. I use the jarred stuff. Tastes just as good as fresh, but I do use fresh though with fresh ginger. And this is 3 slices that equal about 3 tablespoons of ginger. I'm going to pour those in. I'm also going to put in what amounts to here about 1½ jalapenos. I have some here just in case, because you know jalapenos can be duds, and you can have a really hot jalapeno and a dud on the very same plant. And I'm also going to put in, just to make the blending a little bit simpler, some water. So now we're going to turn this on. This is a nice strong mixer. This is my Vitamix. It's going to get kind of loud. Okay, so you see that it does get kind of loud. I'm going to turn it up to high, and I'm going to blend it for probably 30 seconds to a minute just to make sure everything is really chopped up and it's nice and smooth. In order to see if it is really spicy, I'm going to taste this to see if it's the heat that I want. Oh, indeedy. So I don't have to put any more, excuse me, jalapeno in, and the recipe also calls for a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne, but I'm not going to bother with that either, because this is... So what I'm going to do is take this over to my non-stick pan. This is why I can use no oil. I'm going to put this in my non-stick pan. Turn the heat on to medium-high. And let it cook down. It needs to cook until it's thick and relatively dry. That's going to take about 15 minutes or so. So we'll come back in about 10 to see how it's looking. So I will see you in 10 minutes. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. I'm going to check and see what this looks like. Actually, this is kind of ready to go. The pan is wider, usually, and so it was kind of shallow. But this is pretty cool. See, it's kind of dry looking. And into this, we are going to put 1/2 cup of fat-free plain yogurt. I wouldn't use the Greek yogurt because it has that kind of bitter tang to it. This is just plain old fat-free yogurt. I'm also going to put 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, and 2 teaspoons of turmeric. Mix it all up. Okay, this looks pretty well. This looks pretty well mixed. See, it has that nice Indian-y looking, that kind of orangey color. The turmeric adds such wonderful color as well as taste, but it's a beautiful color. Into this, I'm going to put 1 pound of boneless, skinless chicken breast cut up into pieces, and stir that around so it gets coated. And I'm going to put it on the stove on a medium-low heat and let it cook until the pieces are done. It probably would take about a half hour or so, but I am going to check it in about 20 minutes just to make sure that this isn't also cooking faster than what I had expected. When you're cooking, it really is kind of necessary to check once in a while. Sometimes people like to make a meal and just, you know, put it in the stove and then run away. I've done that myself and have had disaster. So let's come back and check it in 20 minutes, see how it's doing. Okay, looking good. See you in 20 minutes. Okay, it's actually been about 20 minutes now, so we're going to check the chicken here. Oh, it's looking good. I'm going to poke into one and see if it feels done. And open it up a little bit to see that it looks, yes, this is cooked all the way through. There's no pink. So this is a nicely done piece of chicken. So what I'm going to do is turn off the heat and bring it over and show it to you to show you what it looks like. This is some very, very tasty looking chicken curry. I think the reason that it cooked in the 20 minutes instead of the half hour or sometimes 40 minutes that it usually takes is I made a smaller amount than I usually do. So usually this pan is a lot fuller, but we don't have as many people living at home anymore because all of our children are now grown up and gone. And I've finally gotten the technique of cooking less. So this is going to make a meal for my husband and me during the week. My husband, by the way, is Tom. When I talk about him, he's behind the camera, and he's a great guy and does a wonderful job with the camera work and the editing later. So we're going to put this, I'm going to put this in the fridge and save it. It reheats very nicely. It goes very well with brown rice and maybe a green salad. I hope you like this video, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Healthy Cooking Elaine, and like this video. Until later, here's to healthy cooking.